1973 saw the birth of one of the most legendary sports cars in automotive history, the Porsche 911 Carrera RS. With its unmistakable silhouette and breathtaking performance, the Carrera RS has become a symbol of excellence in automotive engineering and an object of desire for enthusiasts around the world. Although it has long been considered one of Porsche's most important products, the RS 2.7 was developed on a limited budget. It was also born out of the difficulty that the regular 911 was having in being competitive on the FIA group for racetracks regulations. This offered the opportunities to create a more aggressive version, but there was little money and no ability to make major changes. The biggest problem for the standard car was aerodynamic lift. The 911's gently sloping rear end created an area of low pressure that created instability at high speeds. So in 1972, an aerodynamicist called Hermann Burst, who had previously worked on the all-conquering 917 racing car, was asked to find a way to improve the situation.
The problem is that we shouldn't change the original shape of the 911, so we were looking for the simplest way to improve drag and lift.
The solution found by a small team was a cleverly shaped rear spoiler, the famous ducktail. Working in conjunction with a front air dam, it produced rear downforce, reduced drag, and, another useful side effect, improved cooling of the air-cooled flat six hanging behind the rear axle. German regulators were not happy with the idea, fearing that any motorcyclist who hit the sharp edge of the spoiler would be seriously injured. So Porsche agreed to limit the height of the wing and said production of the road version would be limited to the required 500 units needed for homologation approval. But as we know, this last promise was silently forgotten, as 1,580 copies of the RS 2.7 were produced. Porsche also made other, less radical changes. The car had wider rear tires, a body made of thinner sheet metal and thinner glass. The sound insulation was also removed. The suspension has been updated with stiffer springs and thicker stabilizer bars, as well as new rear control arms and updated cross members. The car had no carpet, rear seats, clock on the dashboard, or even a glove box lid, contributing to the sport version's curb weight being just 959 kilograms. Engine upgrades were more limited. The enlarged 2.7-liter engine used the same valves and compression ratio as the existing 2.4, but with a greater boost capacity and increasing power to a peak of 207 horsepower. Older cars often look like a museum piece when viewed through the lens of the modern driving experience. They are slow, smooth, and imprecise. But the 911 Carrera RS 2.7 is a museum piece that has both enormous cultural resonance and an engaging driving experience. The various lightweight 911 derivatives that followed, through the GT and RS incarnations, were faster and grippier. But none had the importance of this pioneer. If you watched until the end, thank you very much for your attention. And if you liked the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and click the bell button to be notified when new videos are released.